The next 3 weeks, I became someone I didn't fully recognize. I paid attention to everything. I started noticing things I had been unconsciously ignoring for months. The way his jaw tightened when his phone buzzed at dinner. The fact that he always took his phone into the bathroom with him now. The name that kept flashing across his screen when he left it face up by accident. Just a letter. Just one letter. K. That's all it was. Every time. Just K. And I know what you're thinking. Just ask him. Confront him. Demand the truth. But here's the thing. I had watched enough of these situations play out in my own circle of friends to know exactly what would happen if I came at Daniel with a restaurant receipt and an initial on a phone screen. He would explain it, calmly, convincingly. He would look at me with those eyes and tell me I was spiraling. And the worst part? I would probably believe him, because I always did. So I waited. And I watched. And I kept my face completely neutral every single evening when he walked through that door. I started writing things down in a notes app on my phone. Dates, times, inconsistencies. The Wednesday receipt. The 3 times he said he was working late, but his office location didn't match when I checked without him knowing. The cologne I smelled on him one evening that wasn't the one he kept on our bathroom shelf. Small things, individually meaningless. Together, they were building into something I couldn't look away from anymore. I also quietly called a friend of mine, a divorce attorney, just to have a conversation, just to understand what documentation might matter later. You know what? She told me to keep writing everything down. So I did. Now get this. On the Monday before that Tuesday, Daniel actually suggested we plan a weekend away together. Said we deserved a reset. He was smiling, relaxed, affectionate in a way that felt suddenly, uncomfortably unfamiliar. I smiled back. I said that sounded wonderful. I suggested we look at options later in the week. I already knew there wasn't going to be a weekend away. Then Tuesday came. The office cleared out by noon. I drove the 40 minutes home on autopilot, replaying nothing in particular. Pulled into our street. Noticed a car parked 2 houses down that I didn't recognise. Small, dark blue, never seen it before. Didn't think much of it. Walked up our front path, put my key in the lock. Music. There was music coming from inside our house. I stood completely still with my hand on the door handle. Daniel worked from home on Tuesdays. That part wasn't strange. But this music was coming from upstairs. And it wasn't whatever he usually had on in the background while he worked. Something told me not to call out. I don't know what it was. Instinct. Something deeper than instinct. I stepped inside, closed the front door quietly behind me, stood in the entryway and just listened. Voices. Low. And then silence. And then the music again. I walked to the staircase, put my hand on the railing, and I went up. One step at a time. Our bedroom door was half open. The music was louder now. I could see the edge of our bed through the gap. I put my palm flat against the door and pushed it open slowly. I stopped breathing. He wasn't alone. There was a woman in my bed. In my house. In my bedroom. On my side of the bed. A woman I had never seen before in my entire life, and she looked young. Younger than me. She was staring at me with a kind of frozen, hollow panic that I will never forget as long as I live. Daniel spun around from the other side of the room. The colour drained from his face in real time. I watched it happen. And do you know what the very worst moment of all was? It wasn't seeing her. It wasn't even seeing him. It was the half-second, that single half-second, where his eyes went from shock to calculation. Like a switch flipped. Like even in that moment, even standing there caught completely, he was already figuring out what to say. 8 years. 8 years. And his first instinct was damage control. I didn't scream. My voice came out completely flat and quiet. I said, "Get her out of my house." Then I turned around, walked back down the stairs, and sat down at the kitchen table with my hands folded in front of me. I sat there for 11 minutes. I counted. I don't know why I counted. I just needed something to hold on to. He came downstairs alone. She was gone. He sat across from me and started to speak, and I just let him. 3 months, he said. It started 3 months ago. She worked in his building on a different floor. It was a mistake. It meant nothing. He was going to end it. He was so sorry. 3 months. While we were talking about getting a dog. While I was planning our fall vacation. While I was making him coffee every Saturday morning and folding his jacket off the floor. I looked at him for a long moment.